I paid almost $4 for this single skein of cotton yarn. And for the same price, I got all of this yarn, as well as these little skeins that I couldn't even hold. I would say that's a deal. I got all of this yarn from a thrifted sweater, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to get your own high quality, much cheaper yarn from sweaters at the thrift store. This is one of my favorite hacks. I've been using it for a while now. It's how I get a lot of yarn without having to spend a lot of money. Before you go crazy and just start tearing apart a bunch of sweaters, you first need to figure out if the sweater you're looking at is able to be turned into yarn or not, because some sweaters you can unravel and other sweaters you technically can unravel, but you're not going to actually get any yarn out of it. This is the sweater that I picked out. I just went to the thrift store today and picked out this very bland little cream sweater because I am running out of white and tan yarn, so I figured this would be a good restock. And here's everything about this sweater that made me realize this was the right one to take home. First things first, it was very cheap. I always go and look at the clearance section first. I just go to my local Goodwill when I'm thrift shopping. I have gone to the Goodwill bins before too, and that can be very affordable as well. But just go to your local thrift store, and if there is a clearance section, check that first. Because the nice thing about unraveling sweaters is you don't have to worry about how cute the sweater is, just worry about the yarn. So I can find some really ugly sweaters in the clearance section that I would never wear, but the yarn is a pretty color, and so I can buy it for like $1, $2, and take it home and unravel it just for the yarn. I got this one half off for about $4. The next thing is I just want to look at the sweater in whole. You want a nice plain sweater. You don't want there to be a lot of stripes or designs on the front, because that often means that when you're unraveling it, you're going to hit other colors of yarn and it's not going to be a smooth unravel. So for the easiest sort of yarn harvesting experience, you want to get just one nice plain sweater like this. You also want to kind of feel the sweater. If it feels very matted, it's probably best to leave it alone, because that matted down yarn is going to be really hard to unwind and you have to go through and kind of like rip each stitch apart. So feel for one that just feels like it would pull apart easily. You can also kind of look at the yarn and see how thin that yarn seems and make sure that you're going to be okay with that thickness of yarn, because some yarn is very, very thin and that might not be a type of yarn that you want to use. You can also look at cardigans too. I got a cardigan not too long ago, and you actually get a lot of yarn from cardigans because they usually go down like past the waist. And then the next thing I do, I find the tag and I go to figure out exactly what the sweater is made out of. This one here is 60% cotton and 40% recycled polyester. I highly encourage you to try to find sweaters that have higher quality materials in them, because in a normal store, to buy cotton yarn would be so expensive that we're often forced to buy just acrylic or those cheaper yarns. So this is a great time for you to actually get your hands on cottons and wools and mohairs and all these different blends for very cheap. So I usually try to go for very high cotton compositions. So this one is about 60%. Also make sure that sweater has a nice soft feel, because if you're going to make clothing out of this yarn, it's going to feel exactly the same, and you want to make sure it's soft just like the sweater feels in your hands. Okay, so now we have decided that we like the price, we like the color and the design, we like the thickness of the yarn, and we like what the yarn is made out of. So now that we know we like our sweater, now we have to figure out if we can actually unravel it. There are two different types of sweaters out there that you're going to find in the thrift store. The first one is kind of your generic sweater, where each panel was made separately. So some machine knitted the front of the sweater and then the back of the sweater and then the sleeves, and then it was all sewn together into a sweater. And the other kind is going to be a fake knit stitch or a woven sweater. So the reason why it's important to know the difference is our standard each panel is separate sweater. You can pull them apart into different panels, start unraveling it, and you're going to get all of the yarn from that one panel in a complete skein, where the woven sweater or the imitated knit stitch sweater is just singular long strands of yarn. So if we were to pull all the panels apart and you start unraveling it, like if this was a woven sweater and I pulled apart that back panel and I started unraveling it, instead of getting all of this as yarn, I would get just one strand of yarn, one strand of yarn, one strand of yarn going all the way down, and you can't really work with that. You're just gonna get a bunch of singular long strands of yarn. So make sure you're getting the ones that are multiple panels, and the way you're going to tell them apart is by looking on the inside of your sweater. You're going to see the seam that runs along the sweater, and you're going to come across two different types of seams. One of them, which is the one we're looking for, is going to be almost two separate seams. So you're going to see two different lines right next to each other, and you can kind of pull them apart. They should be able to separate, and you should almost be able to see a thread in between the two holding them together. Usually the thread is the same color as the sweater, so it might be hard to see, but you should just be able to pull both sides apart and kind of get to that center of the seam. That's how you know they're separate panels sewn together. The other option is you're going to flip your sweater inside out, and along that seam it's just going to be one line, typically covered in a lot of machine stitching, which means that the entire thing was made in one go and then stitched together with a machine over all of those little bits and pieces to make sure it doesn't unravel. So again, it is so important that you find the sweaters that are made up of two separate pieces in that seam along here, that you should be able to kind of pull them apart, because we're going to need to be able to cut in between that seam and then gather all of the yarn without our sweater falling apart. So now that I've got my sweater picked out, I can start unraveling it and turn it into yarn. But first things first, this did come from a thrift store, so I always like to throw the sweaters in the washing machine, and I wash and dry them before I unravel them. That way my yarn is nice and clean, so I can begin crocheting with it as soon as I have it harvested from the sweater. I've washed my sweater now, so the yarn is all clean and ready to go, so I'm going to show you now how to take this apart and turn it into yarn. To pull the sweater apart, you can either use scissors or a seam ripper. I prefer to use a seam ripper because it's pretty small and it's easier to work with, but both come in handy at different times. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my sweater inside out, so that way all the seams are on the outside. And I'm going to start by working up along the side of the sweater, so we're going from the bottom here as for the torso portion up until we reach that armpit. So I'm going to start at the very bottom, and here we can see the seam. It doesn't matter which side you start on, just pick one of these seams going along the side here. And all I'm going to do is kind of pull apart the seam to find those threads in between. You can see there, in between the actual material itself is thread that is sewing the seams or the panels together. It's very important that when we're doing this, we only cut that thread. If we cut the material itself, that's going to cause a tear or a rip in our yarn, and it's going to make our skeins a lot smaller. So in order to have a continuous skein of yarn, we want to make sure we're only cutting that thread that's sewing it together. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my seam ripper, and again, carefully working in between the two panels, making sure I'm just ripping the actual thread itself. I'm going to go right in between and pick up some of that thread and rip it like so. And that's going to start our hole, and I'm going to slowly work my way through the whole seam. So first I'm working my way down because I kind of started in the center here. After a little bit, you will find that the thread will just kind of tear itself. And now you can just continue seam ripping or cutting all the way up. But a little hack I have found is after I start to seam rip, I can tell what direction the thread wants to unravel in. So in this case, I could tell that it unravels very easily going down. Because I realized that the thread rips easier in the downward motion, each sweater is going to rip in a different motion. Like sometimes if it sews up, it'll rip up. If they sewed it down, it'll rip down, if that makes sense. So I'm actually going up to the top of this seam right around that armpit section, and I'm going to rip the seam up here, and I'll show you why in a second. Now I can grab my thread, and if I pull it, you'll see it's just undoing itself. So this saves me a lot of time. I don't have to necessarily cut the thread consistently. I can just pull it and it's unraveling. Whereas if I was working up this direction, it's not going to unravel or go anywhere because it only unravels in one direction. So I have found that in this sweater, the downward direction is what unravels it. Now I can just pull it, and just like that, we already have our first seam undone. So I have now opened up this entire seam along the side up until I reach the armpit of the arm here. So now we're going to go ahead and work on unraveling this seam that goes around the arm. So this is all I do, is you just keep finding the seams, and then you pull them apart until you find that connecting thread, and then just tear the thread like so. So you then can go ahead and unravel the seams. So now all I'm going to do is just continue going along all the seams and just ripping them apart until I've separated all of them. So you want to be separating the front and the back panel. You also want to detach the sleeves here, and then the sleeve should also be able to open up. There sometimes is a seam that goes all the way down the inside of the sleeve. You want to undo that as well so the sleeve can lay flat. And then sometimes the collar also has its own seam that needs to be taken off. And then if there's any pockets, you want to make sure you're seam ripping those pockets off as well. So I'm going to go ahead and work through all of these seams as I demonstrated until I've cut them all down into their own panels, and then I'll show you what to do next. Now I have my panels all separated. We've got the front and the back panel, both of the sleeves, which are now opened all the way so they're flat like this. And then this is the collar of the sweater. And so now that we have all of the panels of our sweater, now all it's left to do is just unravel it and harvest the yarn. You can very easily do this by hand and wind up a ball of yarn as you go. Or if you have a yarn winder, this would be a great time to use one. I'm going to go ahead and grab my first panel. It doesn't matter which one it is. I'm going to be unraveling this sleeve, it looks like. Some of these sweaters, in fact most of these sweaters, will have sort of a stitching along this first row to kind of protect the yarn from unraveling. So I have found that it is fastest just to cut this first row off. It does waste a little bit of yarn, but in the long run I think it saves a lot more time and it's worth it. So I'm going to just lay this down flat, and then all I do is just cut along this very first row here that I'm going to be unraveling. You don't always have to cut this first row off. Sometimes it'll just unravel, but I have found it to be so much easier just to cut it. And this will open up all that yarn for us so we can start unraveling. I will warn you that this will create a lot of fuzzies at first, all those little bits of yarn we just cut, but now you can see here it's already starting to unravel. At first, you're going to end up with some of these broken strands of yarn where it just keeps breaking and you can't seem to find that full pull of yarn. This is the bits of the yarn that we cut into, so it's going to have some breaks, but eventually once you work through it, you're going to get to that final pull where as you pull the yarn, it just keeps going. And we've now finally gotten to that full pull where we can go ahead and harvest all of this and turn it into yarn. So once you have found the loose thread, however you ended up doing it, you're just going to want to go ahead and wind it up into a ball. So like I said, you can either do it with your hand like this, or you can go ahead and use your yarn winder. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to thread it through my yarn winder. And now at this point, the yarn should just easily pull apart off of this panel. It's just smooth sailing from here. I'm just going to turn this on and let it start working and wind up all of this yarn. My yarn broke halfway through, so I got these two little skeins out of just one sleeve. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat this same process for the rest of the panels of the sweater, just pulling them apart and winding them up into their own skeins. Now I will mention that some people that harvest yarn from sweaters like to treat it before they work with it again, because you will see here it has kind of like a ramen noodle shape to it because it was already tightly woven into a sweater. When we pull it apart, it has all those little like kinks and ripples in it. So a lot of people, especially knitters, like to treat the yarn ahead of time. You can find a tutorial online honestly for it. I'm not going to include that in the tutorial because I have found no need for it. Every time I have crocheted with this yarn, it's turned out just fine. I also feel like winding it up in these little skeins of yarn helps to tighten the yarn, and once it sits like this for a couple days to weeks, it already straightens itself out just from the tension it has in this form. But so far, every time I've crocheted with my sweater yarn, I have not had a problem, and the things I have crocheted turn out and look exactly the same way as normal yarn if it doesn't have any ripples or kinks in it versus this yarn. So I have found that to be kind of a pointless step for myself, but if you're knitting, I've heard that can make a big difference, or if you just know that you're going to want it to be straighter and more structured, then I would look up online how to treat yarn that has been unraveled and do that before you wind it up into your skeins. But I don't care, so I'm going to go ahead and wind it up now. Here's some of the yarn that I got. As you saw in the intro, there was even more that came out of the sweater. So now you can just go ahead, put this on your little crochet shelf or with your other yarn and use it for crochet projects, knitting, whatever you want to use it for. And this has just been so helpful. If you try this out and it works for you, then put that in the comments. And if you enjoy any crochet videos, crochet tutorials especially, or crochet tips and advice, I have so many videos here on my channel to help you crochet. So if you enjoy that kind of content, then be sure to subscribe and check out my channel for more crochet videos. I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching this video. Goodbye. Oh, I forgot. Make sure you have a blessed couple of days because we're all blessed out here and we're all grateful. So have a blessed couple of days. I'll see you later. Goodbye.